joining us for this Shotsuki Hoyo Service for the month of January 2021. This service will be previewed on January 3rd, 2021. Please join me or listen reverently, if you would, to the chanting of the Sanbutsuge, the first passage of the larger Sutra on Amida Buddha, which is especially reverent, and we like to use it for these services. Namo Amida Butsu, 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 Namo Amida Butsu. Busatsu Daimoryo Jukyo Sanbutsuge Kogen Gigi Ijin Mugoku Nyode Enmyo Muyo Tosya Nichigatmani Shuko Enyo Kaishtonpe Yunyaku Jumoku Nyorai Yogen Chotei Murin Shongaku Daion Koru Jippo Kaimon Shodin Tammai Chie Itoku Muryo Shusho Keiu Jintai Zennen Shobuten Hokai Gujin Jin no Kungongai Tai Mumyo Yokunu Seison Yomu Ninno Shishi Jintoku Muryo Kukun Kodai Chie Jinmyo Komyo Ito Shindo Daisen Gangata Buten Taisho Ho Kado Shoji Mifuge Daten Fute Joi Kainin Shojin Yode Sammai Chie Ijo Kote Tokubuten Fugyo Shigan Istai Kuku Issa Dayan Keshi Ubuten Yakuten Nokuman Muryo Daisho Shunyo Goja Kuyo Isai Shito Shobuten Funyo Gudo Kensho Fungyaku Hinyo Oja Shobuten Sekai Ufu Kage Mushu Setendo Komyo Shisho Henshi Shokoku Nyode Shojin Ijin Nanryo Ryoga Thabuten Kokudo Daiichi Goshu Kimyo Dojo Chodaten Kokunyo Nayon Nimu Toto Gato Aimin Dodaten Isai Jippo Raisho Shinnaten Shodyo Itonga Koku Keiraku Annon Kobuten Shinmyo Zega Shinsho Hotsugan no Hi Rikisho Shoyoku Jippo Seison Chie Muge Joryo Shison Shiga Shingyo Keiryo Shinshi Shoku Dokuchu Gagyo Shojin Ninju Hoke Namanabu 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 Gani Shikudoku Byodo Sei Isai Dohon Modai Shin Onyo On La Koku Namandabu, 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 Namanda, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. We rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. Namo Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu. This is our Shotsuki Hoyo service for the month of January. And I will read the names, if I may, of those friends and family members who we know have passed on in the month of January. There is no charge to have your friend or family member's name read at these services. So if you lost someone in January you'd like have their name read next year, let me know. And if you have someone who's passed we don't know about another month this year, let me know and we will honor them. Reading then the names of those friends and family who we know of who have passed on in the month of January. Akita Hiraku, Alima Matsu, Baba Oka Mikio, Fukeda Shigeyoshi, Fukumoto Kiyosaku, Furumoto Ikuo, Furuichi Tomizo, Furuichi Yoshiko, Goto Hisayo, Hashimura Frank, Hayashi Hirai, Hayashi Shizuko, Higashioka Hanae, Hino E, Hidakawa Hyakutaro, Hirata Harumi, Hirata Sakuji, Hata Michio, Ishida Kiyoshi, Ito Toshiko, Kaede Nisaburo, Kaede Nisaburo, Kamon Ayako, Kawamoto Asayo, Kawamoto Hisako, Kawamoto Rikimatsu, Kawamoto Yasuyo, Kawasaki Natsuko, Kawashima Haru, Kikawa Roy, Kobayashi Kentaro, Konishi Genhichi, Kurashita Nao, Matsuba Ariyoshi, Nagata Toshio, Nagatani Ichiro, Teru, Naito Teru, Nishimoto Bunso, Nishimoto Masao, Nishimoto Mine, Nishimoto Shigeko, Nishimura Matsuyuki William, Ogawa Kunai, Ogura Sara, Oka Seiichi, Okada Sachiko, Okumoto Hinayo, Omori Daisuke, Omura Fumio, Omura Katsutoshi, Omura Matsuhira, Omura Suematsu, Ochi Shige, Ushita Ikiji, Ushita Yukimatsu, Otani Kazuyoshi, Oyama Masajiro, Saeda Seiichi, Sakahara Isamu, Sakiyabu Geinichi, Sano Otomatsu, Sano Sarajiro, Shimizu Senjiro, Sugasawara Yo, Sugimoto Masa, Sugita Matsue, Taketa Iku, Teramae Yasunobu, Terasawa Ryo, Toimoto Shichio, Tokimori Yoshimatsu, Tomono Setsuko, Tsuchimoto Kazuyoshi, Uchiyama Hichiro, Umeta Kiyoshi, Umeta Zenichi, Ueda Kyoto, Wakabayashi Yasujiro, Yamada Marjin Kazuko, Yamane Akira, Yamane Isuyo, Yamanaka Michiko, Yamanaka Noboru, Yamasaki Lin, Yamashita Tomejiro, Yamashita Roy Yoshio, Yano Shizue, Yashiki Sakaichi, Yoshida Yozo. Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namita Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Well, thank you very much. These are the names of our friends and family who have passed on in the month of January. I will go on to deliver a Dharma message, if I may, for this service. And it's kind of a funny message because we're combining a Shotsuki Hoyo, the solemn remembrance of those we care for, with the fact that this is the first service of the new year. So, for one thing, Happy New Year. We are preparing this message, again, our Shotsuki Hoyo for January, and we expect it to be broadcast on January 3rd. But I'm not as enthusiastic as I should be wishing you a Happy New Year, because we're actually recording this on December 29th of 2020. And so I'm here with my friend Alan Goto, who's recording it, my wife Kyoko Okura Gibbs, who did the flowers for us, and we have not tasted the new year yet. Again, we expect this service to be previewed on YouTube January 3rd of 2021 at 10 a.m. And so it is the new year for you. I hope it's a good one without any fear. Alan and Kyoko and I will learn about the new year after this talk, several days after. But I will share this one hope for it even now. As John Lennon and Yoko Ono put it in 1971, I hope it's a good one without any fear. Allow me to return to the topic of our January memorial service for a bit. This Shotsuki Hoyo is dedicated to those who passed away in the month of January. Those friends and family members who passed away one year or another in January. However, it being almost New Year's Day for me, and it being January 3rd or later for most of you in 2021, this memorial service also brings to mind those we lost in the year 2020. Last year, in 2020, we had to part with some friends. I'll just mention the people who were official members of the temple that we lost last year. Mrs. Sayo Nakatani, Mrs. Yukie Okazaki. I have 3 friends named Yukie. They all told people in this country to call him Yuki, but her full name was Yukie. It's a nice name, Yukie, but you may have known her as Yuki Okazaki. Mr. Kiyoshi Takeda, Mr. Gary Hashimura, Mrs. Chiyo Kawamoto. I went to see Chiyo last time I went to see her. Her facility was closed down for another virus, and I haven't seen her since then. I miss her. Mrs. Lin Ozawa, a good friend to all of us, and someone that we may say was as good a human being as has walked this earth, Lin Ozawa. We had to part with these 6 people last year and others as well. The year 2020 brought sadness to many of us at the Pasadena Buddhist Temple. I am saddened by those losses in 2020. I think of these people every day. We cannot avoid being separated from those we love by illness, death, and accident. We should not try to avoid being sad about those losses. It is a sad thing to be parted. Even if you believe it's a temporary parting, it is sad. Death is inevitable for biological persons. Death is inevitable for us. One day, someday, for all of us. The death of those we care for will make us sad. Feeling sad is sometimes one of the duties that goes with being a decent human being. People we truly love passed away last year. We may lose more friends in 2021. Can this new year still be a good one without any fear? Fear burdens us, and we would like to be free of it. Greed, hatred, and stupidity burden us. When we recognize that we want to be free of them too, we are on the Buddhist path. Can we be free of greed, anger, and stupidity? Some of us probably can. All of us can live in such a way that leads to diminishing the influence of greed, hatred, and stupidity in our lives. Can we be free of fear? Totally, forever, free of fear? No. No, it's part of the fact of being a biological person. Can we be free of unnecessary fears? Well, sure, and a lot of us waste too much time being afraid of things that cannot hurt us. Are you afraid of getting West Nile virus? I looked this up. A friend of mine, the first case that hit the U.S. was like 1985 or something. A friend of mine was convinced she had it, right? As soon as they told her what the symptoms were, she had it. She did not have West Nile virus. And the West Nile virus in 2020 affected 192 people in the United States. Most of them minor, they did not die. But a lot of people are afraid of it. Don't be afraid of the West Nile virus. You're not going to get the West Nile virus. You're not. COVID? I don't know. So be careful. I don't have it handy, but I have my mask with my jacket in the back. I did wear a mask coming to the temple. I will wear a mask before I come within 30 feet of Alan. He's about 50 feet away now. You can do something to decrease your fear of the COVID, but you can't cease being free of it altogether. It is kind of scary. For West Nile virus, wear long sleeves outside. You'll be okay. You won't get the West Nile virus, and I won't get the West Nile virus. And COVID-19, we don't know. We don't know. So wear your masks, shields if you're not embarrassed to wear them. You and I need not fear the West Nile virus. We can also reason our way out of other unwarranted fears. Fears like this, getting some communicable disease that is in very small distribution in North America, the West Nile virus. We can talk ourselves out of worrying about stuff that we really don't need to worry about. We can't talk or think our way out of being fearful about getting the COVID-19 virus. Take precautions. It is a great danger. If we take precautions, we should not worry unduly about the current pandemic. However, it is a threat, COVID-19. We can never be completely free of this threat. Not this year, we won't, not next year. And we can't be free of fear of it because as biological persons, we are periodically endangered by specific situations like this pandemic. I'm not going to hold you too long this morning, and as the closing matter, not quite the last thing I want to say, but the closing matter I want to address, let me again look at my own feelings about fear of death. I share my Buddhistic thoughts and feelings about death in the hopes that my reflections on this might help you to have your own feelings and thoughts about this matter. Death means ceasing to exist as you are right now. I don't fear that, in part because I am sure something comes after that will be very good. But even if I didn't believe in something to come after, just the fact of life ending is nothing to fear. If it is an ending, I'm not going to experience it. Why worry about it? If it is an ending, you won't experience it. No reason to fear it. So far as thinking about what may come next, this need not be frightening. And for the devout Jodo Shinshu Buddhist, it's actually something good. I trust in the commitment, in the endeavor for the liberation of all suffering and deluded beings. The fundamental vow, the primal vow, the 18th vow as it's numbered in a particular text. The fundamental promise of the Buddha. Now, the Marines have a noble principle, no man left behind. They're going to have to adjust that principle now. It's going to have to change to no man, woman, or non-binary person left behind. But it's a noble principle. But the Marines are not going to go back for field mice and grasshoppers. That's not part of their commitment. It's part of our commitment. We got to see what about, I always remember when I accidentally kill something I shouldn't have. And last year, I was putting down the bath mat, and there was this grasshopper, and I figured I'll pick him up later and put him outside. And as I put down the bath mat, I expected him to jump, and the bath mat wasn't that heavy. It killed him. I felt really bad. I thought you were going to move. I didn't think even if it hit you, it was heavy enough to kill you. We got to go back for the grasshoppers. We got to come back for the field mice. Every living being deserves our concern. The Buddha's commitment is a commitment to every living being. We Buddhists are a Sangha built on Amida Buddha's fundamental vow, a vow of going back and jumping playfully into the fields of karma to work to liberate all suffering and deluded beings, anyone who needs our help. It's a big job, but we don't have to finish it. We don't have to finish the work in 2021. We better have started it in 2021 if we haven't yet. Many of the people whose names I read, I truly miss, people on the Shostuki Hoyo list. Been here 6 years. First time I read this list, I didn't know anybody on the list, right? It was my second day on the job, 2015. Now when I read this list, about a third of the people on the list, I knew these people, and I miss these people. These 6 people I mentioned who passed in 2020, I miss these people, and I think about them every day. I'm not content to forget about them. I believe I will encounter them again in the realm of awakening. Relying on the Buddha's promise, occasionally saying their name, the Buddha is definitely non-binary, saying their name in forms like Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu. I rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. Saying their name in this way, saying Amida Buddha's name in some of these ways, we move forward hopefully. We move through our life hopefully. We move into 2021 hopefully. We enter the new year. I wish you all a very happy new year. I hope it's a good one without any fear. In closing, this January Shostuki Hoyo service and our first service of the year 2021, those who wish to, please join me in a closing gasho, putting our hands in a posture of peace and respect, and saying the Buddha's name in one or another way a few times. We rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Thank you very much.